Hello folks, I have a very big apology to make. It's been bleeding ages since I've been actually vlogging. I have a very good excuse. I don't know if you've ever checked out the scenery behind me, but you might have noticed it looks a little bit different to your average home. Well, that's because I don't live in your average home. I happen to live on a boat, a narrowboat to be specific, a little bit like a barge. Now don't get me started on narrowboats. If you want to know about my life on a narrowboat, please go and check out my hubby's video called Barging Free. Okay, that's Alan Denman on Barging Free. Think Barging Free, and then you can see everything that you could ever dream of wanting to ask about what it's like to live on a boat. But today I am not talking about boats. I am back to talking about my absolute favorite subject: how to have a very good relationship. Hopefully you've been following my vlogs so far. If so, if you've watched parts 1 to 4, I'm hoping you've taken up my challenge to listen to your partner, reflect back to your partner, and step 3, become a detective and find out what your partner's needs are. So I said today I would be talking a lot more about the subject of needs, why understanding your partner's needs, and by the way, your own needs, is key to a really good relationship. Okay, let us begin there. Needs. What are they? I'm not talking about things like I have a need to have a nice glass of wine now and again, or to have a holiday once a year. I'm talking about things that are fundamental to your emotional well-being, okay? Fundamental to your emotional well-being. They don't have to make you ecstatically happy, but if they're not in place, you most definitely will be unhappy. So what would we be talking about that might come under the area of needs? It might be, for this very thing that we are talking about, is communication. That is often a fundamental need in a relationship. Another thing might be a need for a vibrant social life. Some people have their friends as an incredibly important aspect to their life. Some people might have a need for very close relationship with their family. Some people might have a need for safety and security. Others might have a fundamental need for variety and adventure. So that's the sort of thing we are talking about with needs. Things that are deeply important to you, and if they are not present in some form in your life, will leave you feeling unhappy. Okay, so today's vlog is a little bit different. I'm not going to go and make you listen even more to your partner. I'm actually going to have you listen to yourself today. Why? Well, to better understand what your partner's needs are, a great place to begin is your own. You would be amazed how many people have an expectation that their partner understands what it is that they really want and need, but they are not themselves actually very good at expressing it or even knowing what it is. Once again, it was one of those things I discovered in my time of relationship coaching, that often we don't actually know what is deeply important to us. But what we do know is that we feel very upset. Knowing we have an emotion is never difficult or a problem. Everybody can relate to being aware of feeling very angry, very aggrieved, very wounded, very hurt. But a lot of the time, we're not actually able to be very clear about why we are feeling those things. And if we are not clear about that, how on earth is our poor partner supposed to meet those needs? Okay, so how do you find out what your needs are if you don't know what they are? Well, that very thing that I just spoke to you of, emotions. Here is where emotions are a magic wand, because they will always point to an unmet need. Okay, I've written this down just in case you didn't get that. Here we go, high tech once more. Ta-da! Emotions point to unmet needs. Emotions point to unmet need. And the bigger the emotion, probably the more important and fundamental that need is to your happiness. So what I'd like you to do now is think about the thing that you argue most about with your partner, the one thing above all else that really, really upsets you, okay, makes you unhappy or gets you angry, the thing that can set you off from 0 to 3 in moments and have you nuclear with rage, because it keeps happening again and again and they never kind of seem to get why you are so angry. It's that sort of thing, okay? So think of that, whatever that is. Maybe it's money. Could be that one. Sex, that's always a big one. Family members, friends. Okay, you get the idea. So think of one of those things, your own personal one, that you argue about with your family, with your partner. Okay, right. Hopefully you've got that in your mind. Now, whatever you are feeling around that, let's say it's anger, it's probably a surface emotion, okay? Because underneath anger will be another feeling. So let's take a specific example so we can demonstrate this nice and clearly for you. Let's say one of the things you argue about a lot is money. That's often a big one in relationships, okay? Maybe you have a partner who's a little bit of a spendthrift, or a spendthrift in your eyes, from your perspective. They just buy this, meals out, clothes, theatre tickets, etc., etc. And you get very angry about this and you have a lot of arguments about that, all right? Underneath your anger, if we take it down a step, you're probably feeling another emotion. And I'm going to say it's likely to be something around fear or anxiety, all right? Fear or anxiety. So anger is the surface one. Fear and anxiety are what are beneath. Now, why is it really good to find those emotions that are underneath? Well, number one is they will help you point to an unmet need. You could be aware if you feel a lot of anxiety or fear around about your partner's spending, then perhaps something that is fundamental for your own emotional well-being is to have a sense of financial security in your life, okay? Maybe that is one of your unmet needs, to feel safe. And one of the ways that you feel safe is to know that there's plenty of money and that it is being looked after and that it is well managed, all right? Got it? Excellent. Okay, so now you know what was beneath that anger was fear and anxiety, and now you know what that fear and anxiety were pointing to. Well, anxiety about financial security, so pointing therefore to a need perhaps for financial security, then you are then able, rather than just get angry at your partner, but to actually express to them what your need is, what your fear was, why you had the fear, and what that actual need is beneath all of that anger. That they will be able to hear a lot better than your anger or your upset. All right? So you can see why knowing your own need is very, very fundamental to communicating better with your partner, because you can go straight to the need and not just to the surface emotion. Okay, now don't do this, by the way. Just write down what your need is, identify that, but not yet are you ready to share that with your partner. How you share that with your partner, I will cover in another vlog. But just for today, all I'm asking you is identify the thing that you guys argue about the most. Look at the emotion you feel on the surface. Take it down a level to the emotion that you're actually feeling beneath all that anger and upset, or anger or upset, and then find out what that upset or fear is actually pointing to. What is your unmet need? What is something that is of great value to you for your emotional well-being? Okay, I think that's enough to keep you out of mischief for the next week. Tune in again in a few days' time for part 6 of how to have a great relationship, and I will tell you what we will do next with this wonderful discovery of finding out what your own needs are. Take care till then. Bye.